What's going on, guys? Let's talk about Bitcoin real quick. So this is the structure I'm watching, and this is based on the fractal from Amazon running from really 2000 to 2008. Amazon had this three-wave move here, three-wave move in the middle, and a three-wave move down. So it's realistically a WXY type pattern. And we're watching for the same thing on Bitcoin right now. In my opinion, we're somewhere right in here, getting ready for a larger move to the upside. So where could that move take us? You see on Amazon, this last move down, this was internal to that. So this last move down, we're still internal to that move down. And the final move up is upon break of that high. Again, just for comparison's sakes, we've got three waves down, three waves up, and then we're looking for three waves down after completion. And from there should be a pretty massive move to the upside. You should also know by now, if you followed me for any amount of time, that I was watching this move and comparing that move with our current move. Now, this next move up could end anywhere in here. We could have a contracting flat. We could have a zigzag where it's A, B, C. It's not exactly clear how that's going to play out. However, I think it's clear that we have a trending move up here and a trending move up before that are most likely related to each other. So it's very possible that we end up moving similar amount in terms of price. So 14 to 16,000 is pretty realistic for me once we start the next move up. You likely already know that I'm tracking this as well. Well, before I mention that, I do notice that MACD stayed blue on this whole move, and I would like MACD to stay blue on this whole move on this daily time frame. If it flips red, then I start raising flags. Why did we flip red? We had a 1 bar red flip here, but my strong preference is that we don't see that flip. But you should also know that I am tracking this piece here. Come on back. Just like this. This move took from the high here to the end of it where we really started our impulse was approximately 27 days. We had A, B, C down. We had some weird pattern here for a B wave, and then we had A, B, C down again. The time in this first move down, the A wave or W wave, was less than the time here in this move down. Whether you count it here or over here, for me it really ended right here. And let's just call it the low. Let's just call it this price right here. You're looking at 5 days for this final move, even though this first move only took about 2 to 3 days. For me, behind this is all some kind of base that's separate from this. But that's not really too relevant. I don't care too much. I'm just looking at this main structure here. We're looking at 3 days down and 5 days, 5.5 days almost, to get to this low. So if we come over to our current structure and we're looking at the same thing time-wise from this high, we've already taken 27 days, 28 days. So we're getting very close in time to the total time of that previous structure, and that included, if I can grab my brush here, that included a move down and some time for basing. So we're getting pretty extended here in terms of time for this to play out, and I want to see something happen in the next few days. That is one argument to say that we make a V here. Once we make this move down, we're going to reverse immediately. That's not my primary, but it is possible. Much more highly likely is that we form some kind of continuation pattern after we hit the low here. In terms of time of the A down, you're looking at a couple days to maybe 3.5 days, depending which low you grab. And then over here, we're looking at having already taken 3 days. So we could again take around that 5 days. And we're looking at our main difference in time being in this B wave. This B wave took longer than the other wave. I have a strong preference that we maintain this low. We don't take this low out because I would like to see the higher lows stay intact. Once we break this low, it's a market structure break in algos, and a lot of traders would say, hey, we've broken the low, it's time to short a retracement. We don't really want everybody trading against us to the long side. So if we maintain this high, then that's much better for us than if we break the high. Now that doesn't mean that we can't make an expanded flat. It's still valid that we do this and move to the upside to my upper targets of like the 14,000. But it becomes less likely if we break market structure, and I much prefer a running structure where we maintain the higher lows. If we look over at coinalyze.net and we look at CVD, you can see price made a low here, and then we broke that low on CVD. That means there's a lot of market selling going on, but we did not break that low here. So that suggests that there is a limit buyer operating in this range, keeping price from moving down. I would like to see us retest that zone one more time. I'd really like to see heavy selling on the next move, but a failure of price to move down. Now, BitMEX had a major wick here that the other exchanges did not. I don't believe this was structural. I believe this was just liquidations occurring, and I think that we will retest the zone in a more structural manner like this. So again, I mentioned already, we could have a V base out of it, V reversal out of it, or we could have some kind of basing pattern. And I think something like this is much more likely. Let's also look at the chart I had published. This was on May 15th, so it's been about 3 weeks. And I had earlier charts as well from back here that are the same thing. But the entire idea here was that we break the 10,100 high, and we maintain this high volume level around 8,700. You can see that we broke the 10,100 high, and we've been maintaining that high volume level around 8730 pretty well. In fact, we bounced off of it right in here. So that remains the idea. I've been tracking the same thing for a while. Now, timeline, I was thinking that we would reverse at the beginning of June. So my takeoff zone is already intact. It's already in play. And the end of that zone was around the 7th to the 8th. So I believe we are behind schedule. If I hit play here, I believe we are behind schedule in this structure where we're still coming down to complete this. But time-wise, I already told you we could be complete. I already showed you where the previous move didn't take as long as this one is taking now. So could it be possible that this is our structure? Yeah, it's possible, but I find it unlikely. Last time I said, hey, we probably have some kind of weird running structure here, I was right the first time in that we needed to move down. And I have no reason to think now that I would be wrong about needing another move down. But if we can't get a 4-hour flip, then maybe I'm wrong. We need this 4-hour to flip red. Have the 4-hour flip to red here and then flips back. maybe I would give some more credence to this, but right now I still can't. Right now I still believe that we are headed down at least one more time here. Looks pretty good that this might be our local top. And let's actually grab this back here. Let's make a bars pattern of this back here. Just this final wave, the third wave of correction. Let's grab that and pull it over to our current price action. So interestingly, when it comes to the size of this last drop, it was very similar. And even our timing is pretty similar so far. This drop here didn't have the same corrective move behind it within it. It was very obviously a impulse down. But time-wise now, we're very close to where this top occurred. So we could move up a little higher, but there is also a very good chance that we are starting this move down here. The similarities between this structure and the 4-hour structure I was showing you before are really uncanny, maybe even too close. But so far, we seem to be following it, and I've been tracking it for 3 weeks, so I see no reason to change that now. I am in some shorts. I just added some shorts. On a low time frame, I added some shorts. But if we get a 15-minute flip red here, that would be more confirmation of that short. And even a 1-hour short, 1-hour flip red would be more further confirmation. I'm in this trade similar to this, with my target down at 8700s, in line with my higher time frame expectation. So it is still possible we push up again. I would think only one more high. If that happens, I'm just looking to reshort on the 15-minute flip red or the hourly flip red. The hourly really isn't too close yet. So it's even possible that we get some relief on the MACD here. Oops, missed it. And come back and make a price divergence on MACD. However, we don't really want to see that in terms of time. If we do that, we're just adding to time of the entire structure. So my idea would be that we are topped right here, in that we can come on down to our 8700 area, in line with what we saw on CBD. I would like to see support right in here from that limit seller. And look at that, it matches up perfectly with this previous fractal. So there's a lot of reasons to think that we will come on down one more time, and I will be looking to buy heavily in here for a massive run up to the 14 to 16,000 range. You can see on previous impulses, our final move is often the strongest move. This guy is what I'm looking for. And you even had opportunities to add to your position through this move. After the initial impulse, we made a running flat, we moved up again. We made a flat here, and we moved up again. So we could be looking for the same thing now, where once we start to move up, we have a consolidation and another move up, consolidation and another move up. But this final move should be stronger than both of the moves that we had back here, taking us to the upside. So, to recap, my invalidation, daily flipping red. My likely invalidation, but not 100%, losing this 8100 low. If we lose that and daily flips red, I pretty much throw out my bullish bias, and I think that we're going to revisit the lows. Until those things happen, I'm looking for the upside and looking for entry into larger longs. But I remain short right now on low time frames, looking for the 8700 type range. And I think we're about to dump. I think this plays out very nicely very soon. All right, guys, that's all I got. If you have any questions, just hit me up and we'll get you taken care of.